for this week. Okay, so is the war over? Are we still out of the woods, or are we still in this chaos at the moment? Okay, so a lot of uncertainty that's happening in the market. Okay, and then of course the Donald Trump mentioning that ceasefire have officially take place, and he also made an announcement mentioning that the war is officially over, according to him. But we're not sure how official it is, right? Because anything can happen, and I think Israel might, retaliate or probably to, fight back. So we do not know what will happen. Okay, there could be a U-turn in this war scenario. Okay, so yeah, I think on and off, most likely the war has been done and dusted. But again, we gotta really take note. Okay, we cannot just simply let this situation on the loose. But again, like I said, in this kind of scenario, anything can happen. So what happened is that, Trump already mentioning the ceasefire, okay, official ceasefire on his Twitter account, okay, claiming it will go on forever. But both nations reportedly launched missile strikes shortly after the ceasefire went into effect, right? So, yeah, I already mentioned, but again, these two countries continue to violate, okay? So it's like ongoing thing. And yeah, I think the markets after that fully recovered, fully have a V-shaped recovery. Okay, once the official statement coming in from Trump, okay, they have made market have made a V-shaped recovery, very fast recovery. Okay, so you can see after the ceasefire, what happened? You see stocks like Coinbase went up, S&P 500 also have one of the best performing day. Okay, so Coinbase went up about 12.1%. We have Mara Riot, okay, 8%. Okay, Marathon Digital 4.94%. Okay, and then MicroStrategy, which is Michael Saylor, the CEO, went up about 2.68%. So we can see what's happening now on this situation. Okay, so all in all, the market is continuing to rally again. So the final thing to take note is, can BTC able to bridge the 111K, which is the resistance? So far now we are stuck again at the range. Okay, still hovering at that place. And then we look at crypto market still holding very steadily. Again, we talk about stablecoin, a lot of stablecoin news, and of course opportunity as well to be in the stablecoin business. Okay, so yeah, stock companies like Circle Internet Group, okay, one of the stablecoin issuer, went up about 15.49% or slid down to about 15.49. And then since the first day of the IPO, it went up about 6x. Okay, the IPO price was at $31. Okay, so that's a lot. Price went up. Okay, so yeah, I think all in all, what is happening now, the best time to buy is one of the hardest time to actually take action. Okay, to buy the dip itself, you have the conviction to buy during this time of uncertainty. When there's more in the country, okay, when there's chaos in the market, do you have the conviction to buy? That's the thing. So what happened after the ceasefire? Market immediately went on to have a V-shaped recovery. So that is usually what happens compared to the previous war cycle or previous historical war cycle. You can see all the previous war, what happened, immediately the market tend to recover from that. Okay, then moving on next. Again, you can see coming in from one of the best expert crypto analysts is from 𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗁. It is more towards the macroeconomics, more very detailed into Bitcoin dominance, more on market behavior, especially on crypto, and more towards Bitcoin. So you can able to follow him on YouTube as well, 𝗶𝗺𝗁𝗁. So yeah, we can see that he's actually indicating that dominance will continue to rally. Okay, and alts will continue to bleed, probably for one last round, one final round of bleeding for the altcoins before we see blow off top for the dominance, and then that's where we can able to see the altcoins will start to rally from there, or maybe we could see altcoin season from there. Okay, so that is what his prediction, okay, expectation. Okay, so alts expect to bleed more. Okay, all right, and then continuation with the Bitcoin dominance top very, very soon. Okay, so yeah, he has been calling Bitcoin and altcoins one of the top best caller in terms of market top. Okay, he's one of the best. And then of course, if you look at his social media following, about 1 million followers, okay, on Twitter alone. I think in YouTube alone, he's about more than 100K, I think about 800,000 followers. Okay, so yeah, again, he's mentioning if the Bitcoin price were to maintain above this red and green line here, okay, therefore the market can be able to continue. There's a high probability that we can see the bull market will continue to rally and to hit new all-time high. But what happens if the market or if the price were to close below the red and green line below here? Then that's where the invalidation happens. That's where you will see a top here. And then most likely the bull market might end according to his indicator. Okay. So his prediction is based on Bitcoin's price action in the last 2 years, when Bitcoin started to roll over and give up gains in the third quarter. Okay. Then he said, I mentioned for a while on YouTube, and Bitcoin would likely start exhibiting some weakness around mid-June as the Q3 weakness starts to present itself, right? So what you can see now, mid-June, exactly when the war happens, price went down, dipped below 100K. So it went to a low of 98.2K, if I'm not mistaken. 98.2, 98.3. And then finally rallied back up again. Now currently hovering at 107. Okay, so again, same thing might happen. Okay, and then he's expecting a low around August or September. Okay, so now we are ending the month of June. Okay, so we got July, so we got August and September, 3 months. Okay, to see this low, especially for the alts, if you're holding alts. For BTC, I think most likely it will continue. Okay, or probably to range around there. Then what we can see here, he warns that his expected Bitcoin correction will trigger a brutal capitulation for the altcoins. Okay, so it may be finally time to rip the band-aid off for alt against Bitcoin pair, right? So you can see already what's happening. Okay, for this chart, total 3 chart, all the alts against Bitcoin. So now we are breaking this downward trend line, and most likely might hit all the way to 0.25. So the 0.25 is the final dump for the alts, the final bleed. Okay, the final capitulation for the alts against Bitcoin. And then that's where finally we can see our bottom consolidation. Then probably, hopefully, the Federal Reserve can reduce the interest rate. That's where we transition from QT to QE. And that's where we get the alt season. So that's where it's going to happen, right? So we're going to wait and see whether the price will come back down to 0.25. Okay, so a bearish altcoin versus Bitcoin chart indicates that alts are losing value faster than BTC. So when you buy altcoin, you want to make sure that you measure against BTC rather than USDT or US dollar. So that's the whole reason of buying altcoins. The reason why we buy altcoins is to outperform against Bitcoin, is to accumulate more Bitcoin. That's the only reason. There's no other reason, right, to compare with USDT. So if you compare with USDT, then it defeats the whole purpose of investing in crypto. Okay, so if you are investing in alts and your alts did not perform against Bitcoin or probably losing in value, that's where you're still at a loss, right? So a lot of people, okay, do not know all this. Okay, so moving on to next, right? So what's happening now? Okay, talk about the stablecoin opportunity. So we can see a very serious competitor now is coming in. So that is between Coinbase and then USDT as well. So you can see Tether's competition is growing. Okay, so it's not about Circle, it's not about Coinbase, but it's also about other companies as well that are actually taking advantage of this stablecoin industry. Okay, because I think this business is quite huge for this type of companies. They're issuing all these kind of stable coins. Okay, so not only to politicians, okay, but all towards global usage. Okay, so you can see USDT supply is becoming increasingly distributed across multiple blockchain networks. Because as for now, you can see the popularity between stablecoin is only USDT at the moment. A lot of people are focusing on USDT. Transaction-wise, P2P, everything all focusing on USDT. Sooner or later, USDC will catch up eventually, because that's where the transition will happen. Because why? USDC is regulated by the US Security Commission in the US and is issued by Coinbase. So Coinbase is actually a public listed in the US, right? Already traded in the Nasdaq. So which is why people prefer USDC over USDT in the long run. Okay, sooner or later you'll see the transition. Okay, so you can see Ethereum holds the next largest chunk, over 71.54 billion worth of Tether network. Okay, and then we have Tron and Ethereum. Okay, So these are the stablecoin opportunity here. A lot of supply. Okay. So you can see currently leading is Tron, 80.71 at the moment. Okay. So the race for stablecoin supremacy. So a lot of companies right now, they're actually challenging, giving a very serious competition against Tether, USDT. Okay, because earlier we have those infant companies like Plasma Foundation have recently raised about 500 million. Okay, for those investors who want to invest with Plasma or another company, they are heavily backed by Tether. Okay, so they launched 500 million raise last 2 weeks. Okay, sold off within 30 minutes. I think all those big investors heavily invested to it because I think it's huge. Okay, all right, and then we have Circle. Okay, also went public. I think this month itself we went public. Then it went up about 6x, 620%. Okay, Circle USDC. So you can see a lot of competitors coming in. Okay, so not only on Circle, Coinbase, and then we have USDT Tether. I think Plasma will be coming up next as well. And then here you can see Circle feels a Tether shape white as USDT exits the EU, European Union. So as you know that USDT, they are not regulated, not regulated properly compared to USDC. At least you know USDC, they are heavily regulated by the US Security Commission. So that's why people tend to have more confidence holding USDC rather than USDT. Okay, so yeah, again, you can see the total supply of circles, right, for Euro stablecoin is up from 78.4 to 236 million. Okay, which is very, very huge. Okay, so you can see already, even European side also are heavily using the stablecoin as well. Okay, so all in all, everything is very bullish, especially for the stablecoin industry. Okay, stocks like Circle, Coinbase will definitely go up because of this demand. And then that will lead to the next article here. We look here. So this is by the Visa CEO. Okay, you can see a huge opportunity on stablecoin as a global opportunity. Okay, so yeah, you can see other companies as well, not only on crypto. Okay, we can see like e-commerce giant, okay, like Amazon and Walmart also could be issuing their own stablecoin and compete directly with. So you can see already the integration partnership. Okay, e-commerce partnership with the card merchant like Visa and Master. You can see how fast they are moving. Okay, so we can see the whole world is adopting stablecoin. You can see how much of potential opportunity for this type of businesses to profit. Okay, so you do not need to rely anymore on MoneyGram or Western Union or third-party type of conversion or exchanger that will kill you in terms of fees. But by having stablecoin in your wallet alone, you can able to transact. You can able to buy things not only from your own country, but from other country that able to accept stablecoin like USDC. That is the game changer, not only in crypto, but in the global market as well. So that's why you can see huge opportunity, right? This is by Visa CEO Brian McNerney. Okay, so a lot of opportunities that is happening right now. Okay, so this is just a warm up. I think more companies will continue to issue their stablecoin. We can see like Bolivia Airport duty-free tax. Okay, duty-free shop. They have already issued their products in USDT value, and you can able to buy their product using USDT. So you can see already one by one companies will start to issue USDT or USDC based on stablecoin. So it doesn't matter which country you are from, as long as you have USDT, USDC, you can able to purchase. So you no longer rely anymore to convert the local native currency of that particular country. As long as you have USDC or USDT in your wallet, you can able to scan and make payment. That is how good, that is how efficient right now you can see in terms of stablecoin opportunity. And then moving on next. Okay, so what's happening now with the overall market? So as you know that a lot of companies, they come and go. They launch their own project. And then what happened? It went down to zero. Okay, especially new companies, Airdrop companies or initial DEX offering or recent companies that went public. Okay, or crypto companies just went public. Okay, they are just here during the bull market, and then during the bear market, they are totally gone or fly by night. So in order to identify what are the type of good projects that you can able to take note of, okay, there are few criteria they can able to see. Right? A good project doesn't mean a good token. Okay? Where a good project, they can able to have two products. What are the products like? The product and the token itself. Okay? And then of course, speaking about revenue, okay, doesn't necessarily benefit token holders. Okay? So good product with good narrative, and then which is more than tokenomics. So if you can able to have good narrative like Hyperliquid. Hyperliquid, they have good utility. Their main core business is focusing on what? Decentralized exchange perpetual, okay, which no other companies have done it before. So I think they are the first one who have done it. So I think there are a lot of competitors also is trying to bring Hyperliquid down. So that's why you can see when you have a good product, good narrative, you don't care about the tokenomics anymore. No matter how good the tokenomics is, okay, it doesn't really matter anymore. Okay, like Hyperliquid is one of the good example. Okay, exchange listings are not catalysts anymore. Which is very true. You don't have to rely on exchanges like Binance. You don't have to, give them a lot of allocation to Binance Alpha in hoping that you can able to gain some traffic or gain some, momentum. And then at the end of the day, you lose your community's trust and you lose everything on the line. Okay, publicly published tokenomics information does not mean, okay, shit, I've explained it to you. So again, like a lot of companies, they list out their tokenomics. Okay, this tokenomics probably, a certain percentage will go to early investors, early adopters, to VC, and then maybe a certain percentage to airdrop farmers. So that is the thing here. Okay, and then what else? Okay, what really matters here, very important. Founders who pay attention to both the product and the token. Very, very important. Because a lot of founders here, they are focusing on themselves. Okay, they throw the community under the bus. Okay, I think community work hard day and night for probably 6 months, 1 year, and then they don't get anything. Okay, then they ask them to fill up the form, like example like Humanity Protocol. Okay, so later we will go on into that. Then teams who pay attention to proper token launch, okay, like float, market maker, liquidity, okay, and then centralized exchange, right? You have to negotiate as well. So this will take into place. And then founders that understand marketing, narrative, and then we have key opinion leader strategy. These are the things that you have to take note. What is really happening in the current narrative? Very, very important. Is your product focusing on RWA? Is your product focusing on AI agent? What is your narrative for this bull market cycle? And then founders that bother with IR and actively pitch to funds to post TGE. Okay, so many, okay, you can see. All right, and then we have low token inflation, token unlock, also very important for the VC, right? When they unlock, how does the token will take into account? Well, the token price drop drastically after the token unlock. Okay, so yeah, all these fees, burning, buyback, well, the company buy back their own token. Okay, so yeah, all this, this is a good read. So hopefully you can be able to digest, right? If you're doing a airdrop farming or IDO, this will actually take into account. Then of course, more news regarding about the stablecoin business. So you can see here, coming in from the Trump's administration. So this is by 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀, Treasury Secretary, okay, under Trump's administration. Okay, so this guy is helping Trump on Treasury. Okay, and right now what you can see here, he's mentioning that stablecoins can reinforce dollar supremacy. That is the game changer here. That is what the US want. Okay, instead of focusing on the USD itself, which is the current leading indicator in terms of currency, they want to make sure that they are also in charge of the stablecoin, which is the USDC as well. So digital assets are one of the most important phenomena in the world, right? Yet they have been ignored by national governments far too long. You can see here the keyword far too long. And now they have already realized that they should be in the game right now and should start taking action and to be the leading indicator in this industry, in this stablecoin business. So you can see a lot of opportunity is coming in from the stablecoin industry. What they have been missing out in the last few months or past year. Now is the time to actually take step, okay, for the US government to actually take charge and to transition into this stablecoin that everybody has been waiting for. Okay, so establishing the United States as a hub for digital asset innovation, okay, and the Genius Act moves us one step closer to that goal. You can see where are they moving right now. and see where the US is heading. So you can see how fast and how efficient right now is 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 has been addressing this on this stablecoin industry, right? So yeah, all in all, you can see what's really happening. And then moving on next with the airdrop. So airdrop use. Okay, so this is coming in from Magic Newton. Okay, they have 85 million funding from VC, and finally they have already, I think, airdrop. Okay, trading is at 61 cents. So for those of you who have been doing Magic Newton, you can start claiming here your airdrop. Okay, so you can able to claim this live. Okay, all right. So yeah, this is the website, so you can able to claim. Right, Newton is here. So I think this drop, a lot of people are getting good allocation. Okay, all right. If you are doing this earlier, then you should be getting. Okay, for Magic Newton. And then moving on next, another big disappointment coming in from Humanity Protocol. So this one, I think we've been doing since last year. So SPL, did you get your Humanity drop? Donella and Xiao, how about Yang? So have you checked the checker? Okay, have you checked your token? Did you qualify it? If you have not qualified, you have to fill up the form. So which is also another disappointment because you have to scan your palm. Okay, you have to claim your hit share. Claims.fairdrop.com. Enter. Right? So yeah, wallet is not eligible. Right? So yeah, fairdrop.com. So you have to go here and claim. Yeah, so I also have filled up the form because I'm not eligible. Right? So I think a lot of the community also is quite unhappy. Okay. A lot of people did not get, I think about 95% of people. Okay, and then they give out to Binance Alpha. Okay, they give out to the exchange. And then they're giving out to people who have big followers, like Twitter influencer, Kaito. Okay. Yeah, so how can this be a fair drop, right? A lot of people are mentioning it is unfair. Okay, so like I said, if you do not get, then just move on. Okay, so the only thing that we lose here is just time and effort is being lost here. Okay, so you can be able to claim if you got it, you got it. So for us, we just move on. This is the only thing. Because this funding, this project, yeah, for about 43 million, I think, 30 million funding. Okay, so many people don't have about 30 million funding. But because of their greediness, okay, inside the team, which is beyond our control. So yeah, these are the risks that we have to look into as well. Okay, good funding, but unfortunately inside the team is not good. So yeah, like I said, at the end of the day, this is, we did not put in any money, but nonetheless, our time and effort wasted, that's all. Okay, so that's the risk about airdrop by farming this type of testnet. Okay, sometimes we get, sometimes we don't, but eventually we just move on to the next. And then moving on next with 𝗧𝗏. So 𝗧𝗏, I think I also told you guys to participate in the whitelisting. So I'm not sure whether you guys also participated. And then of course they offer you to do it for free as well. Right? Instead you get whitelisted, you can also continue to claim daily. I think the 𝗧𝗏 𝗧𝗏, and finally now they have also airdrop to their users. So claiming will be tomorrow. Tomorrow is a TGE, 8 p.m. Okay, so their distribution is here. So 8.15% will go to airdrop community. Okay, and then this airdrop is vesting, is on locking. So the first round you will release about 44%. The remaining will be vesting for 6 months. Okay, for 𝗧𝗏. So 𝗧𝗏 is actually a good project, 43 million funding by VC. Okay, the best part is because why? Not many people can simply join and do. They will filter and they will see who is eligible enough, qualified enough to actually participate in the testnet. They don't want to pick any Tom, Dick, and Harry to do this airdrop. Right? If they see your wallet has zero history in terms of transacting in the mainnet, like Optimism, Arbitrum, or Binance Smart Chain, if you not spend any single cent in the mainnet network, there is no point for them to actually select you to do the airdrop. So they want real users instead of farmers. So if your wallet is empty in terms of history or transaction, that's where you want to gain some traction with your wallet. You need to transact, pay some gas fee, okay, 1 cent, 2 cents, whichever is necessary, okay, to improve your wallet traction. All right, so this is to also avoid 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. okay, to what you think. So you do not want them to identify you as 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀 farmer. Okay, so these are all experience I'm sharing. So you do not want to be disappointed. End of the day, you did the airdrop and then you do not get. Okay, so all these are coming from experience. Okay, so you can see here, share knowledge, right? Knowledge drop.𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀. So you can see here. Okay, so this is the drop. Okay, so you can see, right? So total allocation, this is one of the account, 6,657. So this one I started since January. Okay, started since January. Okay, 5 months. So you can see the allocation here. So this one is doing prompting for like ChatGPT. Okay, you can use any AI. Okay, they reward you. And then sharding, daily claim sharding. So this is the allocation. Current TGE price is about 10 cent, I think, 10 cent. So opening, they will only release 44%. The remaining will be vested. So you can see vesting lot. So that's how to earn money in crypto. Okay, besides buy and holding, besides trading, airdrop is one of the opportunity as well. So Sahara finally did very well. They cook really well. So compared to humanity, okay, so yeah, that's the thing. The difference between Sahara and humanity. So they value the community. Okay, so moving on next. All right, this is coming in from Nansen. Okay, so Nansen, I think they have a huge funding here, 88 million funding. So what you can do, you can start doing this. So what is Nansen all about, right? You can see a multi-chain AI analytic platform. So this is what they'll be doing. They're also helping projects to identify 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 farmers, people who are abusing the system, people who are trying to game the system. That is what they're trying to do as well, to eliminate 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀 farmers. Okay, so season 1 have started already. So what you want to do, you want to start doing this. Okay, all right, you want to go here, nsn.ai. All right, and you want to start to transact. So, but again, this is absolutely free. Okay, you can choose the free version if you want, and then you can go to other points. Okay, and then you can able to transact here. Hold on, just send here. Okay, so let's see the chat box. Okay, so app.nansen.ai. Okay, so you can able to go to that link and then you can able to participate in this airdrop, which is 88 million funding. Okay, so what you can do, you can able to play around with the dashboard. Okay, how to accumulate points, you can able to go to portfolio. Okay, you can able to check and you can able to go here or watch list. You want to add watch list, add wallet, and then you got to add Telegram account, smart alert also. You need to add. Okay, and then what else? Points. Okay, so yeah, under your account, you also have to add your Telegram there here in order to gain some points here. And then to maximize what you can do, you can able to stake if you want. Go for staking. Okay, so staking will definitely give you more points. Staking here. Okay, all right. So there are many network, Hyperliquid, Solana, Sui, okay, and all those Cosmos for you to stake. Okay, so that is for Nansen. Okay, so you can able to do. I think this is about 88 million is quite huge funding. So it's definitely worth your time, unless they screw up like humanity protocol that is beyond our control. That is the only risk that we cannot control. The only risk that we can control is the funding, and then the amount of time that you can able to spend. That's all, right? So Nansen I'm doing. Okay, so actively doing for this as well. Okay, so you can start doing that if you want. And then moving on next, okay, for crypto market cap, so you can see where are we now, 3.32 trillion. BTC at 107.5, looking at Ethereum 2.4, Ripple 2.2, any gainers for today. Maple Finance still up 22%, Pi Network is up about 20.7. Say Network also has been up quite a lot. I think it's been a major upgrade for Say. Okay, 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝗀, 10%. Okay, Aptos as well. It's up. Okay, so yeah, overall, I think market looks set to recover. And then moving on to the bigger picture here, which is the dominance. So dominance, you can see here on money time frame. Dominance is still heading higher. Now it's at 65.72. The next peak will be 70.68. Should we see a peak here and then continue to go down? Okay, and then that's where you see market out start to bottom from there. Probably we could see one last flush, okay, because you can see the dominance continue to hit higher. So 65.42 is a current support. And then if you continue to go down lower, this will be 63.31 to look at for the dominance. Look at daily now. Daily momentum pullback and it's creating another chance again to break higher. You can see already what's happening now. Dominance wants to go up. I think this could be the last already for dominance to rally again. Okay, so to continue to pick all the way up, probably to 70%. And then that's where you might see a major pullback. Then that's where alts will start to rally. Look at it against Bitcoin. It is still weakening. Okay, still retest at the sell zone and high chances for it to break down again. 0.01916. Look at weekly now. What's happening now? Descending, break, consolidation, break down again. So again, this could be another throwback because this could be another scenario, something like this. So maybe it could do similar like this as well. Very similar pattern. Break down again, one more round of another pullback. So we're going to see whether or not can it able to maintain around this lows here or the lower weekly here. That's very important for it against Bitcoin because if not, then I think this will be the final flush. Okay, this could be the final flush for it against Bitcoin. Moving on to BTC. So if you have any question, feel free to put in the chat box. I'll answer it later on. So it against Bitcoin, overall very bullish. So we are about to end the month of June. So roughly about another 5 or 6 more days. And another 5 more days left. Okay. So your 105.4 will be the spot for Monday. Look at weekly now. What's weekly doing? Final boss resistance will be right here, 108 or 109K. Okay, 109K will be the final boss. Okay, now what happened? This was during the war, Iran versus Israel. On the weekend, dump, and then on Monday itself, recover back up. Fully V-shaped recovery. Then now today, we can say continue to grind higher again. So yeah, the 109.2K will be the level to watch. Okay, this will be the re-entry sell here. 108.8. All these will take into account. So we're going to see, can it able to maintain or will it reject back down again? Okay, look at Ethereum now, 2.4. So Ethereum is not looking good compared to BTC. Look at the monthly. This is the sell setup here. Candlestick change of direction from buy to sell, pull back for the re-entry sell, breaking down again. Why M pattern here? Double top. Okay, double top here. Looking set to break down lower as well for ETH. Now, weekly, what's happening? Price break above the middle band, confirm change of direction from sell to buy, pull back for another round, maintaining above the middle band for now. So it needs to maintain above here, 2197. Okay, and then we challenge again this level here to break above 2815 for ETH. Okay, for ETH to maintain. H4, we can see break, consolidation, price about to U-turn back again, and then maybe to retest on the middle band. Okay, 2344. Again, daily, you can see what's happening, price at the sell zone. So maybe you might see another dip back down again, okay, due to that. So what's next? So no more out season, right? Young. But that doesn't mean it's up. Doesn't mean there's no out season. So we have to see whether next month the Federal Reserve will cut interest rate. But looks like very likely that the Federal Reserve will make its first cut on 30th of July. Now, when that happens, that's where the first step takes place. That's where the warm-up will start to happen. And then the transition will kick into place, which is QT to QE. And then if that happens, dominance most likely to peak by next month. If everything goes into plan, probably to 70%, according to Benjamin Cowen. Should we pick around here? Okay, we pick around here, consolidate, and we're going to look at the it against Bitcoin, most likely to go down one more round, probably to consolidate around this range. And then finally, we see a break, huge reversal back up again. That could be the scenario of our season. And that is what everybody's been looking for. Okay, but it's looking set to happen. So you're going to be very patient. Okay, but for now, we are to stick with BTC at the moment. All eyes on BTC first. Okay, then of course, you want to prepare some dry powder as well. So if you so happen to buy during the dip on weekend, right? On Sunday during the war, then that is very fortunate for you to have taken advantage for those of you who have done that. Okay, so we can see the likes of what Coinbase and Circle all went up, I think. Look at that, Coinbase already 352. All-time high is how much here? 368. Okay, 369. Look at the monthly time frame. You can see coming back to the all-time high for Coinbase. Okay, all-time high is how much here? 430 all-time high. Okay, 430. Look at that W pattern is forming now. W, double bottom. Huge opportunity to break higher. Okay, then where it needs to maintain a support will be here. 320 will be the support for Coinbase. Okay, and then we look at Circle. Okay, look at Circle. These are all opportunities here. Then IPO price was what? $31, $33. How many percent already went up? 620, right? 6x. This was $65, 298, $300, 306%. Finally coming back down, peak already, I think. Okay, so on Monday itself, right? They just launched this month ago. Okay, 2nd June, 1st June. Okay, 1, 2, 3 candles. Okay, all the way up for Circle. Okay, we take from here to this low. Next high will be 344. Next retracement at the golden ratio 189, leading up to 171 for Circle. Okay, so a huge opportunity, and then yeah, with a lot of RWA and of course leading to stablecoin as well. So we can able to see this one. Chainlink. If you have any outs, feel free to put in the chat box. Chainlink. Chainlink also, I think this one also could be a huge potential. Okay, because what you are dealing is quite huge. Not only stablecoin, but you're dealing with RWA right now. Okay, this is the major support, $11, 11.02. Your re-entry sell here 17.14. Look at the weekly time frame. Now weekly is still consolidating, and then maybe this could be a bottom here. How many times we test? Very strong support here. You can able to look for to re-enter again. $10 will huge still. And then this will be your short-term resistance at 14.5. Look at the daily time frame. Price descending, momentum sell, pull back for the re-entry sell, still below the middle band. So you have to be very cautious there with your buy. Now it come back down again, giving you another option to re-enter again. Probably around 12.05 for Chainlink. Okay, so Chainlink is huge. So you might want to pay attention to all those companies that are dealing with stables. Okay, then we're going to look into what else here. Chintai, the RWA play here. Next. Okay. Oh, this is new. Big gap. What is Maxi? Okay. So another RWA here. All-time high, 86 cents. Now it's what? 15, 16 cents. So it's about 80% down. 84 for Chintai Network. Okay, consolidate, break below the middle band, rejected again. So it's still within the consolidation range. Ranges like this is very nice to buy actually. A very good opportunity to take your time to long or to actually accumulate. Okay, momentum sell, go back for the entry sell. So again, this is looking set to hit lower. So we need more confirmation. This will be the level here. Probably you might want to look into 13.5 cents for Chintai. Okay, all these are RWA plays. And then last one, get 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀. 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 here also at 11 cents. Okay, high was at how much here? 65. Weekly also similar, downtrend. All breaking, all at the major support zone. Very critical as well. So we're going to see whether can it able to rewind back and then retest at 13 cents, which is the sell zone. Look at daily time frame. Still fail to break past the middle band, which is 11 cents, 11.5. Look at H4. Momentum, pullback, high highs, high lows, now it's trending and it's consolidating. Okay, so that's 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗀𝘀 for you. So I think these are the things I'm watching at the moment.